Brett Kogan asks, what do you think is the smarter decision, to reboot Indiana Jones or make a sequel with Ford to redeem itself?
I didn't quite catch this.
Is it better to reboot Indiana Jones or do a sequel with with Harrison Ford?
Oh, reboot. I'm not sure I'm totally for either. I would reboot, just because I've said for a long time, Indiana Jones is now, the true Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. You're now in an era that I don't care about Indiana Jones stories. I don't care about Indiana Jones stories in the early 80s. I don't care about I don't mean Indiana Jones in his early 80s. I mean in the early 1980s. I don't care about Indiana Jones in the late 70s. I want Indiana Jones fighting Nazis. Right. That's what I want. That's where I want my Indiana Jones. So if I had to pick between the two, I would say reboot it with a new actor.
I think that I don't want to see that Indiana Jones either, because Indiana Jones, just the age of the character, he's going to be that guy that really hates rock and roll music, and he really hates you hippie kids with your marching and your burning bras.
Music?
He's going to hate all that stuff. So I don't want to see that Indiana. I don't want to see cranky Indiana Jones. By the same token, I like this, so I think I'd vote for a reboot, but it's nothing against Harrison Ford. I think Harrison Ford could still play Indiana Jones just fine. I thought Harrison Ford was great in Indiana Jones 4. I thought he wasn't the problem with that movie at all. I felt like I was watching Indiana Jones again. It's just I agree with you. I don't think that the time frame works for Indiana Jones as well as it does in the 1930s when he gets to fight, I hate these guys, Nazis.
Right. Yeah, I mean, in young Indiana Jones, there was already different actors who've played Indiana Jones. Don't forget about the television series. I can't remember the dude's name.
River Phoenix, wasn't it?
No, Patrick.
No, River Phoenix played the young Indiana Jones
in the movie, but then they actually had a TV
series.
series. So I mean, someone else playing Indiana Jones is not an issue to me. I agree with you, though. I don't want to see Indiana Jones in the 50s and 60s. I say they reboot it, get a new actor who can bring back the 30s and 40s, that swashbuckling,
Can I throw this question at you guys though? Is if you reboot it, did he still get the Ark of the Covenant, and did he still get the Temple of Doom rocks, and did he still go on the Last Crusade?
Well,
did those stories happen?
Well, let me go the opposite way first, because I actually agree. I actually go the other side, and I would like to see another sequel with Harrison Ford, because
as long as you bring Shia LaBeouf back.
That's the exact reason why I'd want to do another one, is to get rid of him. And because what you could do is I think that one of the deals that there was rumored was that Harrison Ford wanted to do another redemption, and at one point they had Darabont who had the script, and Spielberg was on board with that, and Harrison Ford was on it, and Lucas kind of poo-pooed it, and it was going to be a different story. I'd like to see another version, because remember, we don't have to see him in America. You can see him in another place, and it doesn't matter where it seems. It could be timeless to where certain parts of the world we don't know, and like exotic places, it'd be fine.
It's a great point.
To what he's looking at. But what I'd like to see is them able to set up whoever's going to reboot. Maybe they do a flashback of the character. Let's say it's Chris Pratt. Let's say, and there's a flashback of when he's thinking about himself as a younger man, and you see the younger version, and then you set us up for this new rebooted franchise. You set us up for the new character. So when you indeed do the reboot, oh yeah, that's the flashback from the last Indiana Jones. Now I'm on board right away. It's more inviting.
Going back to your question though. Remember, the original 3 Indiana Jones films, they were all pretty much isolated stories, right?
Yeah.
Even though there was, in the 4th one, there was a reference to the Ark of the Covenant, stuff like that. Aside from those odd little Easter egg references, they were completely isolated stories. So you could reboot the franchise and just have the new adventures of Indiana Jones. Each one is a completely isolated story. And that's not to say that the Ark of the Covenant didn't happen. This isn't the story about that one. This is him in the pursuit of the bosom jewels from deepest,
Dolly
darkest.
Parton.
Yes, something like that. I don't know. Whatever.
I remember Raiders of the Lost Ark as actually the last Indiana Jones, because Temple of Doom happens 2 years before, and Last Crusade happens 2 years before that. Even though they are sequels, in time they happen before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I didn't know that about Crusade.
No,
both of them.
Crusade's supposed to be the last Crusade.
Nope.
Crusade has a reference to when he's walking by and she says, "What's that one?" He says, "That's the Ark of the Covenant." And he's like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Pretty sure."
Yeah.
Doom's
nerds,
pretty cool.
check and write us. I think I'm right.
You're right about the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Last Crusade's the last one.
I'm going to hold
I'll challenge you on that.
Challenge me. Challenge me.
Fight.
Hey everyone, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.